All right, one of the techniques that most students have difficulty with is cranial nerve number 2 or peripheral vision. And they often get their fingers, their hands sort of jumbled up and don't know exactly where they're supposed to be. One of the things to remember about cranial nerve number 2 or confrontation is it is a comparison of the patient's peripheral vision to your peripheral vision as the clinician. If you as the clinician have poor peripheral vision, this is not a test that you want to do on a patient. So what I usually do is I just tell the patient, I want you just to cover up one eye, and I let them choose. Once they choose which eye they want, all I have to remember is I simply match them straight across. Then what I ask them to do is to look at my forehead. If you ask them to look you in the eye, both of you are going to start laughing. So if you just have them look at your forehead and tell them, tell me when you see my wiggling fingers. Some people like to use one of those yellow pencils so they see that waving. But Anna, what I want you to do is to tell me when you see my wiggling fingers. Okay. People can usually see my wiggling fingers. When I start a new eye, they will see the wiggling fingers way, way, way out there. So what I do when I start a new eye is I do unmatch us just a little bit. And remember, if cranial nerve 2 is about matching peripheral vision, then what you always want to make sure is that your peripheral vision is matched to the patient. But for some strange reason on that very first eye, they can see it all the way down there. So what we're going to do is as we start a new eye, I'm going to unmatch us just a little bit. I'm going to start just behind her shoulder at about the level of her ear, and I'm going to come in, and I know that normal peripheral vision, she should be able to pick it up right about here. Okay, now we're about equally matched. So now what I'm going to do, I stay in this plane right between us, equally right between us, and I'm going to put my hands up somewhere around 1, 2 o'clock and come in. And 4 to 5 o'clock. Okay, now I have her keep her hand there, but I move my hand. The reason is if I did not do that, here's what happens. Here comes my elbow, and right behind it comes my fingers, and she knows, here come the fingers. So I have her keep her hand there, I change my hand, but I stay straight across from her on the same eye. Keep looking at my forehead. Now, we are equally matched, so I'm going to start at about 9 and come straight in. I don't know, 10:30, come straight in, and 7:52, and come straight in. Okay, then she covers up the other eye. Remember now that I am starting a new eye, so I'm going to unmatch us just a little bit. I'm going to start from behind her shoulder at about the level of the ear and come in. Okay, and we're going to start about 11 and 7. And remember, I change. She stays there. Same eye, straight across. 3 o'clock. 1:37. 5:20. Okay. The mistake most beginners make when they start off, I'm going to have you cover up this side, is they do this sort of thing. Tell me when you see my wiggling fingers. They start behind themselves, and of course the patient can see it. All right. Okay, that's cranial nerve number 2.